Your energy within your body can be working against you or appearing to be working against you if you don't learn how to control it. So it's almost like you have like magic, right? This energy, it appears almost as magic. This world, this life, this existence, everything is pretty freaking magical. And so something that I'm going to try my best to put into words was coming through today, and it's been coming through in my book as well. Every time I try to say it, I forget what it's called. A Throne of Glass, I think, is what series I'm on now. It's Sarah J. Maas. I read her Court of Thorns and Roses series first. Now I'm on this one. And oh my gosh, like underneath it's a very popular series and different series, very, very popular author right now for a lot of people. And so underneath the message of like each character is something just so spiritual, like the name of the main character. And I'll get into this, but it's just what's invoking this realization and topic and everything. So like the name of one of the names of the main character was something that she kind of hid, which is like her birthright to be queen. Her real birth name is Aelin. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but when I was then reading this other book that's more on, it's called Wisdom Codes, and it's talking about, whenever I wear this lip gloss, it always sticks to stuff. It's called Wisdom Codes, and within that, it was talking about the concept I am that I am. And so I actually have that tattooed down my spine. So I am that I am is like something that God supposedly came down and said to a few different people, and it's within all of our literature throughout different religions, I believe, saying that his name was Ahem or something, Aelin. Ahem. Like, I don't know how to say these words. If you looked up like what I am, and then it's translated to English, I am that I am. And so the Aelin name is his main character's name. And so I kind of have like thought it to be like when she embraces the truth of who she is, because she won't embrace that truth of who she is until she works through her trauma. So she's saying that she can't be that person. She has to be this other character, Selena or whatever. When you read these like nonfiction books, I've seen a reel on this or TikTok on this before. It's like when the characters' names and the places are said, like your brain just kind of goes to mush. It's like, and then we went to blah, 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 and blah, 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 like sent a mail last week. And so that's kind of what my brain does when I see these words. But anyway, because she has this new character that she gave herself after all her trauma, and she's saying she can't embrace the birthright name, the throne and all that, because like if she does, then she has to face these demons within herself. And so I'm just now on that part of the book, and I'm like, well, work through the trauma, girl. Like when the way out is through, and then you get to embrace all that you are. And like she wants to set people free, but she wants to do that as her new name. These slaves she wants to set free. And so it's like so many of us are here watching videos like this because we want to live our soul's purpose. We want to do our soul's work here on earth, and we want to set other people free, right? We want to help in that process of this new earth energy coming to earth. And I'm like very hot right now, so I tucked this in. So what's going on? So we want to do our soul's work here on earth. We want to set other people free, and we can't do that until we fully embrace all that we are, and we alchemize all the things within our body that we're storing that we haven't yet worked through. Like, it's not like we have to work through everything and then we can help other people, but that has to be like a progressive thing throughout our entire life. Like, there's never any point where you just like are done healing. So I used to like, you know, on my health journey of healing from Lyme and mold and these things, I was like, I can't wait to be healthy. I can't wait to be healthy. And I still can't wait to like finish every little bit of physical healing, but the healing never ends. Exactly. The healing never ends. And so that's just part of this human experience. But If we know that there's something living within us, we know that there's a resentment, a trauma, something like that, then like we have to use the resources that we have to heal and either get the support or whatever, do whatever we have to do to heal those things. And so we have this energy within our body, this magic within our body, and we cannot, or how do I say this? This energy within our body will potentially create conditions and symptoms and different situations that will, be there to protect us. Because our nervous system and our limbic system, so our limbic system has like the biological age, if we were to give it an age, it would be about 3, like 2 or 3. It's very young. And it's very like immature almost, but its goal is to keep us safe. And so if our nervous system, our limbic system, is not in proper health because of things that we've gone through, like we've gone through physical trauma, emotional trauma, whatever, then we can have these like cross wirings within our brain and within our nervous system. Our nervous system can be dysregulated. And so say we go through a traumatic event, and it's like, for me, I'll use my example. Like I was living on a toxic, moldy boat. I was working on this yacht and I was living on this boat for a year. And so I was getting very, very sick while I was on there because my genetics and with Lyme that I had at that time, I couldn't handle that toxicity. My body couldn't properly detox that mold. So it was a trauma to my physical body. And so when I went to go do a food sensitivity test, about a year later, all the foods that I was eating at that time of being on the boat were showing up as sensitivities. And this is because my body was recognizing almost everything at that time that I was consuming and probably other things as a danger. And so when I would walk into a moldy house after that, when I was in the healing journey from that, I would get symptoms. I wouldn't be able to speak. I would start slurring my speech. The room would be spinning, all these things. And so this is our energy creating these conditions in order to try and protect ourselves. There's other things like, we can get anxiety when we're around things, or like we can just like shut down, or like there's so many ways that our body will try and protect us. And it's kind, right? So we have to approach these things with acceptance and love and kindness. And so we look at that energy, that magic within us, that limbic system, that child, and we say, thank you so much, right, for trying to protect me. I understand your role in this, but like I'm going to choose a new timeline. And then you have to will it. You have to like really choose and know that you get to command how your life is. And it's so funny because like this is how I've been doing my energy work. Like my mom taught me a lot of this. I've learned a lot of this and whatnot. Like when I go in and I do like energy healing, I'll say like, I command this, I command this, I command that, this place that I'm staying, like if I feel, because it's kind of old. So like, if there's ever a feeling of like a darker energy within a building or something, then I'll just say like, I command that any beings that are within my field, within this home that are not for my highest best good, be cleared now and sent to God's light across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Thank you. And so it is. So I'm commanding it. And so in the book, it was also saying that she had to command and will her magic to work for her. Otherwise, like her flames were like kind of like attacking her, but it was really trying to protect her. And I was like, who is this author? Like, what has she gone through? Like, what universes has she been to understand so much and be able to put it into such a story that most readers, I don't even think like would understand how much that is applying to their current life. And so you have the ability to change what's happening within your energetic field. That's something that Joe Dispenza talks about a lot, is your energetic field. And so it's like he says that your field, your energy is the first to shift and then matter. And so you can change your body, you can change your outside circumstances when you change your field. And so how do we change our field? How do we change our energy? We use our will. How do we use our will? We use our mind. The mind is what gets to choose. The mind has the free will. And so you get to choose. Okay, like I understand that this goes into like brain retraining programs too, like DNRS. These are some of the steps from DNRS. Like you do, like at one of the steps you turn towards, because you kind of like walk in a square and you in your mind but also physically turn towards the station where your limbic system would be, and you say, thank you so much for protecting me in the ways that you knew how, but I'm going to choose a new way of being. And then like we can go into more of the Joe Dispenza type work where we're choosing a new timeline, a future vision of ourself, and we're infusing it with that old thing. Like, so say I would have a food sensitivity come up. I would have like, you know, almonds were something that came up that time. So maybe I am eating almonds, and energetically I turn, or I just kind of say like, thank you, nervous system, limbic system. I understand that you've been trying to keep me safe, but I, with my free will, choose that almonds are safe for me. I choose that I can eat anything and that my body remains in perfect health. I choose that like my intuition tells me exactly what to eat, and I can eat whatever and my body, like, it's safe. I choose that my body knows that I'm always safe when I'm eating things. And so you can choose that. And then you want to infuse it with this high vibrational place. This thought of, you can do future vision self, but infusing it right now, whatever it is that you have to tap into in order to bring that energy in. And so something that just keeps coming through for me is this life force energy. And so I see this stone bath. I went on such a journey in my open-eyed walking visualization today, and it took me down to the center of the earth, which is Amenti. And in Amenti, I was shown this, which I'll talk more about Amenti later, but I was shown this beautiful space, almost like in a cave, but the light was still coming in, even though it was underneath earth, because the light is like, it's within our cells even. It's not just coming from the sun from above, it's coming from within too, from underneath. And so even though I'm in the center of the earth in this visualization, the light's still coming in. And I was presented with my stone bath area, and I'm kind of standing over it and seeing this liquid in it, and it's my life force energy, which we've been talking about quite a bit on here. And so it was, I was visualizing it, and it was full. And I was even seeing it overflowing into like almost like a pond, like the whole room was just full of this life force energy. And so I was tapping into that, like I was like feeling it, and I was connecting my cord down from the center of the earth and having that come all the way up, that energy, that version of me who was with that life force energy and bringing it up through my body. And that felt like such a crazy experience. Like that felt like even more high vibrational than even a future vision of myself. And so that got me thinking about just like the world that we're living in right now. I was listening to the Autistic Mystic talking last night. He does tarot readings, and he's an Aries, like Aries through and through. I think that's why I love him so much. He is fiery. And I am an Aries too. My birthday's tomorrow. But I'm on the cusp of Pisces, so I'm a little more watery, in the clouds, intuitive kind of energy as well. I do have my fiery side, which you guys have seen a few times where, sometimes the cuss words come out and things like that, but it's fun to be a little combination of everything. But he was talking about cell phones, just like the name of cell phones, and how a cell phone is like a prison in its own, and the way for us to be controlled is through this cell phone. And so we're all within this prison of our phone, and that's something that was coming through a lot for me too this week, which I love. Like I love just saying whatever's coming through and then seeing other people talking about it too, because we're all one divine infinite consciousness. We're all in this together, and we're all receiving these downloads at the same time. And so it's incredible to like I saw someone posted a ring that she was gifted. It was Krista from Almost 30 podcast. She was gifted this ring where the snake is eating the end of a tail, and that symbolizes, and it goes way back, it symbolizes like death and rebirth. And I guess like all throughout the world at the time that it was downloaded to these people and shown to them in a vision, like it had been shown at the same time, but all throughout the world, is what I understood from how she was explaining it. And so that's the thing with what we're going through now. But we have I do think there is such a magical part about having the internet, but we're so addicted to our phones. Like just, the screen time, like when it tells you your screen time, it's like, oh, they say about 1/3 of our life is spent sleeping, and the other another 1/3 is on our phones, on our devices. And so that's something that I would just suggest that we really consider where we're putting our energy, because what made me think about that today was like when I was really sick, when I had just got off the boat, I had run into a friend from high school at a cafe in Santa Barbara, and she, not that it matters, but this was the memory where it was, but she looked at me and she's very honest. She's like, I can tell you're suffering right now. Like, I see it in your eyes. It looks like there's like the soul has been like kind of like ripped out of you. I forget how she said it. She's like, oh, there's almost like a darkness behind your eyes. And when I think about like so many people right now, like you can see it in their eyes, like the soul is just like ripped out of them. Like I love my sister, and like I say this to her, but like her job is very soul sucking from what she's explained to me. Like there's so much competition, it's corporate America, and like she closed a big deal and her coworkers were really not happy for her, and she just called me. She's like, this is corporate America. And it's just like you can see it after a day of work, like the soul is being ripped out of you. Your life force energy is being depleted. And then like we said yesterday in the video, how do we fill it back up? We're trying to fill it up with things that don't actually fill it up. The caffeine, the stimulants, the getting distracted by your phones, nothing's going to fill up your cup except the things that actually fill up your specific cup. Like, what is it that's going to fill your energy? And then knowing that you get to choose where that energy goes, and you get to choose with your free will that you're safe, that your body is safe, that like your energy doesn't need to go towards like creating these scenarios to like protect you. So it's like some people have a fear that when they have a lot of money that they won't know how to manage it. And so the subconscious mind will create scenarios where you don't have a lot of money in order to keep you safe, because of that core belief that you have. And so your energy is going towards creating and manifesting a situation that keeps going over and over and over. And you're like, no, I don't want this. But you have this core belief within your body, within your nervous system, within your brain, that it's not safe to have money. And so that's just an example. And so you get to choose, and you get to rewire. And you can sit down, you can take inventory of what's going on within, and you can try to rewire from there, which I do that. And you can also just see on a day-to-day what's showing up for you. You choose what you want with your free will. You choose the one thing. This is what transurfing talks about. Ooh, that is a big, I don't think that's a bee. I think that was one of the scarier ones. The book Transurfing talks about how do we manifest like quantumly, like how do we do it with efficiency, and we choose the thing that will check all the boxes, right? It'll bring us the health, the happiness, the love that we desire. What is that one thing? And it'll take some time. You have to pick it, and understand, like, not understand, but go each direction with it and see, does it check those boxes? And then select that with your free will if it's a yes and it feels real and authentic to you. If you imagine that thing for some reason not working out, are you kind of like relieved? Because if you are, then maybe that's not for you. Or maybe it's one of your, subconscious beliefs just trying to keep you safe and keep you small. So, that was another thing. I love when things just kind of tie together. So we choose, right? We choose that thing that we want to accomplish. And then everything else within our reality, our old ways of thinking, the unconscious, the pendulums, trying to come in and make us believe that we are still in these old timelines, these old beliefs. Our energy is still going to go towards these old ways of being to keep us safe. And we get to say, no, you're not real. You are not real. I am moving towards this. Because if you believe in the power of your free will, you know that you're infinite, you know that everything's possible, that everything's happening right now within the quantum field, then you're going to move towards that. And everything else is just a bunch of BS with the unconscious. And so you say, you're not real, I know where I'm going. And you follow the joy, you follow the curiosity, you fill your cup and you go, go, go. And that's how you're going to jump timelines and move to that timeline. And so the thing that was coming through for me today in my visualization walks, I guess that's like the best thing to call them, because I'm working on just reprogramming the mind in a new way. And so these visualizations are coming through. I kind of let my imagination go wild. I'm like, all right, future version of me, like, what is she doing? What fills her cup? What are her dreams and goals? Like, what are her businesses? Like, what's going on? And I experience it. I feel it, all that. And so the past few days, like, some really cool things have been coming through. And I'm like, wow, these are amazing. Like, I can't wait to be in this time. Like, this is so exciting. But then there's that part of me that's saying, like, how on earth are you going to do all that? Like how? And that's the part that we don't give energy to, because that's the part that's trying to keep us safe. Like, how? Like, it could be scary. It could be too much. Like, you could. And so that's the part where we have to say, no, our energy doesn't need to go towards that. Our energy just needs to go towards what we're talking about, filling our cup, following the joy, following the curiosity. And so then I was getting the visual of all these things are coming to me in these visualizations that, like, my future self is doing. Those are all possible for me if I am full, if my cup is full, because life force energy is coming from source energy, which is infinite. Like, we have an abundance of energy. We can shape shift. We can change how we look. We can do so much when we're tapped into that. That's vitality, right? You look at someone and you're like, how are you getting younger? Like, how do you look so young? Your biological age is reversing while your chronological age is going up. It doesn't make any sense. It's because they're tapped into that vital life force energy. So, there's a lot in that. There's a lot in that. The main thing that I wanted to communicate in the beginning, and it kind of came through and weaved through this entire message, is that you have to take control of your life and understand how powerful you are, and understand that you have the free will to do so, that you get to choose where your energy goes, and you get to be grateful, or not get to be, you can choose to be grateful for your nervous system, your limbic system, for your energy trying to protect you all this time with what it knows and with its estimated age and maturity. And you say, thank you. I got the control now, and we're going to go this way. And so, yeah, there's a lot of freedom in that. That's the message. Oh, I'm glad I sat down and did this. It's like my walks in the morning can be so magical. My meditations in the morning, some of you ask like what I do for my meditations, and I liked someone's response to one of those comments. It's like, it doesn't really matter what you do, like you got to do what's feeling right to you. And I do think that's true, because like I've tried a bunch of different things, a bunch of different ways of doing meditation and whatnot, and you have to see what rhythm works for you. So recently I've been doing the 15 minutes of mindful meditation a day where I'm just following my breath. I'll probably do breathing in truth, out authenticity, in truth, out authenticity, and just get in that rhythm of focusing on those words. And then I was shown those stars that I've talked about on here, one in my heart, one in my root chakra, one in my crown, and I kind of focus on the heart and just like watch like an infinity energy going through those, and I'll do that for 15 minutes. More recently, I get into a little bit of mindful meditation, and then I'll start communicating with my angels and guides, or like kind of hear and observe any messages that are coming through, or like I'll go on a journey, like, you know, how I was talking about going to Amenti today. That happened while I was walking, but sometimes, like often, that will happen in my mindful meditation. And so instead of just trying to like watch my breath and the words, I'll allow myself to experience that too. Because before I was doing 15 minutes and then 30 minutes after that of like communication with my angels and guides, and receiving messages and that kind of thing, and doing healing work and stuff. And so if you want to work with me one-on-one on getting to know your divine team, your angels and guides, and you want some support in that so that you can have those kind of communications as much as you want for the rest of your life, then I created an offer where I will do that with you one-on-one on a phone call. I also have an offer now of doing like spiritual health life coaching. So I have 2 different one-on-one options right now. There's only a few available spots open, so if you want to book that, go ahead and do that. And so that has been the thing, but that was starting to take up a lot of time, and I'm also renovating my van right now, and I'm kind of not running out of time, but I just have to get things done. And so well, there's 2 sides to that. I'll wrap this up, but I'll do my 15 minutes, and now I kind of blend it. Like I'm like communication, mindfulness, messages, but then I will often, like the timer will go off and I'm like, I'm not done here. And then today what I was receiving was like, this is the most important thing you can be doing right now, is going in here, exploring, listening, receiving downloads, putting attention in different places of like tension and pain, and breathing through it, and listening to like what's stored there, and like going on that journey, and like, so staying in that space. Joe Dispenza, I think, I use him all the time. He's great. He's such an influential person in so many people's lives. And so one of his books, is it Becoming Supernatural? I think it was Becoming Supernatural. Talks about how he'll do like 2 hours, I think, in the morning, and does it around like 4 a.m. I think he does around 4 a.m. or Gabrielle Bernstein, but at that time, like, he doesn't talk as much about spirituality as like Gabrielle Bernstein would, but the veil, a lot of people talk about this, the veil is thinner at that time, so it's a good time to meditate. I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. these days, but I am trying to just allow, okay, the most important thing that I could be doing right now is tapping in here, because that's where I'm getting like the go here, travel here, sell all your stuff, you know, move to Europe, do all this stuff. That's where I'm getting all this information. That's where I'm deciding what to talk to you guys about on here. And so you have so much available to you. You just have to get into that space, and it's going to change over time, and you have to follow your intuition. You can't just follow what someone on YouTube tells you to do in your meditation, because that is going to be so specific to you. But the most important thing, I think, would be to carve out the time and to create the habit of getting into that space, to find your stillness, your presence, your awareness, and then experience from there, because there's so much for you in that place. And then, was there anything else I was going to add to all this? No, I don't think so. I have to go to the hardware store now and get some wood. I've just been trying. I'm not a builder. Like, maybe I can channel it and become a builder, but I'm not enjoying the process so much. So I'll be happy when it's done. But I have to go get some pieces of wood and finish the bench that I'm building in the van, and a table, and an extension of the counter, and trying to figure out how to build like a pull-out bed situation for the second bed. It's a lot. But I painted the van. That took me like 2 days. So I'm gonna go do that. Thank you for watching this video. This is a longer one. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new here. Leave a comment if you feel called to do so, and book an appointment with me if you want to work one-on-one. And I will see you tomorrow for my birthday. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.